Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for choosing to come to silent meditation. Know that all are welcome. It's a place where we are free to be ourselves, to be our soul selves, to love yourself. Unity is this place where you can be free to be who you are. It's a place where you can love others just as they are. God loves you no matter what your physical, mental, or emotional health might be. It is unconditional love. As we go into silent meditation, think about the various ways grace might show up in your life. The grace that is unconditional love. If you would, please consider closing your eyes and place both feet on the floor. Welcome Mother Nature to rise into your body as you relax, knowing that Mother Nature's frequency flows into your body as she grounds you to your very being. Let go of tension or any negative thoughts. Simply relax. Take in a deep breath and slowly release all tensions from your body. Move into your heart space, the space where you and God reside together as one. You are one with the Holy Presence in silence experience the unwavering power of infinite love. As we draw to a close, know that you are continually loved. That unconditional love is yours in all aspects and at all times. We give thanks to the many people who volunteer their time and their gifts at Unity in Lynnwood. We give thanks for all that they do, for all the service they provide, for the love they have for this community. As you go on your way, and as you open your eyes, slowly and gently, go forth with love in your heart, compassion for one another, and for the joy of this life that we live. And so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
Thank you, Amanda. Let us join together in prayer. As we close our eyes and breathe, we are aware of the space we are in, the room where we sit. We tune in to the beautiful souls around us and know that we are connected by spirit. We take the same thought outside the walls of this church, and we become aware of the threads of love that connect us all in humanity. We focus on our oneness, our interconnectivity, our spirit of unity. As we expand our mind to the world we live in, we call forth a vision of peace and understanding. Aware of our oneness with all beings, we make a conscious effort to contribute to greater peace and understanding in our communities and with our brothers and sisters across the world. We speak words of connection and reconciliation. We recognize our similarities instead of our differences, and we manifest a world of peace and love and a world united with no borders. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And so it is.
Here I go. Before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. And now's the time when we welcome our youth. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light in this world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright.
Good morning. So I don't have a lot of announcements today, except I'm really happy to be back. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, I think, so it's nice to see all your faces. Super Bowl. We are getting a lot of your food donations, and we are super excited about it. So let's win. Let's beat San Antonio, yeah? All right, would you please rise and join me in blessing our youth? You are the light in this world. Let it shine so bright.
And as the youth says it, let's all stand and greet each other. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine so bright.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, thank you. We're all so happy to see each other. Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. I'm Frances Johnson, and I am your platform assistant today. It's great to have you all here in the sanctuary and those virtually located around the country and around the world. It's amazing. Unity of Lynnwood welcomes you with open arms. Our church is inclusive, warm, loving, and caring. As I come here every week, I find something interesting and new happening. Your world will open up when you are taking a class. I'm taking the Comfort of Prayer class. It is fabulous. You will have a wonderful way of meeting new people. There are also lots of volunteer opportunities and a way to meet friends, new and old. By coming to the Friendship Hall, you can meet people by going into the bookstore and hanging out in the lobby. So it's wonderful to have time meeting all of you incredible people. Please take a few minutes before you leave to talk to someone new and find out what they're all about. You never know. They might be your next pickleball partner.
Thank you, Frances. Yeah, this song I'm gonna do has a really fun sing-along chorus, and so the words will be up on the screen, and I thought we could just run through the chorus together once. It's pretty easy, you'll pick it up quick, and if you have a talent for harmonizing, feel free. I think that would just be glorious to hear all our voices blending together on the chorus. It goes like this. Passing through, sometimes happy, sometimes blue. Glad that I ran into you. Tell the people that you saw me passing through. All right, good job. Let's get going here. I saw Adam leave the garden with an apple in his hand. I said, now you're out, what are you gonna do? Plant some crops and pray for rain, maybe raise a little cane. I'm an orphan now, and I'm only passing through. Passing through, passing through. Sometimes happy, sometimes blue. Glad that I ran into you. Tell the people that you saw me passing through. I saw Jesus on the cross on a hill called Calvary. Do you hate mankind for what they done to you? He said, talk of love, not hate. Our things to do, it's getting late. I've so little time, and I'm only passing through. Passing through, passing through. Sometimes happy, sometimes blue. Glad that I ran into you. Tell the people that you saw me passing through. I heard Gandhi speak one night. He said, yes, we gotta fight, but trust and love are the weapons we must use. Trust in your humanity, be the change you wanna see. Walk together, for we're only passing through. Passing through, passing through. Sometimes happy, sometimes blue. Glad that I ran into you. Tell the people that you saw me passing through. I was in Memphis when the Reverend King spoke of the promised land. We will make it, though I may not get there with you. But don't let the hoses or the hounds ever make you turn around. Keep on marching forward, we're all just passing through. Passing through, passing through. Sometimes happy, sometimes blue. Glad that I ran into you. Tell the people that you saw me passing through. Together one more time. Passing through, passing through. Sometimes happy, sometimes blue. Glad that I ran into you. Tell the people that you saw me passing through. Tell the people that you saw me passing through.
Thank you, Amanda, Scott, Chris. What an amazing, amazing group we have here today. Good morning, beautiful people. Oh my goodness, gathered here in our physical sanctuary and joining our virtual world. We are so happy to have you. My name is Elizabeth Nachman, and as you can tell, I am not Dr. Richard. For one thing, I'm a lot shorter and I wear more makeup. Dr. Richard and Matthew are currently on a much-deserved vacay, and we trust they are enjoying sunshine and gorgeous beaches. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that we love you and we miss you both very, very much. I have to say, I really understand how Dr. Richard feels when he looks out at all of you, both here and online, and says how much he loves you, because I feel the same way. I feel your energy, and it is a really blessed thing. I am so honored to be here this morning and so excited to share the stage with not only the Goddess Gang, we've got Francis and Amanda, but the boys in the band too. Really awesome team, and thank you for your beautiful music and meditation and welcoming words. Was anyone as excited as I was last week to see the parking lot so full? I mean, there was almost no room to park. In the old days, you'd be like, oh, dang. Last week, I was like, woohoo! It was so nice that we can really come back together in person, because there is something special about that and about seeing all of you online. So if you are joining us today virtually, I would ask you, if you haven't already, open up that chat window, put in your name, your location, and maybe one word about how you're feeling today, because we want to know how you're doing. And for those of you in our in-house audience, we would like to recognize our friends online by saying, we see you, we see you, we see the truth of you, we see the truth of you. And we welcome you. Welcome you. And today I can see we have Deborah from Jersey. Oh, sorry. We have Ursula from Florida, and we have Chris in Oregon. Welcome, welcome. And all of you who didn't put in your names, we welcome you too. Thank you. I do want, before I move any further, extend a special announcement about our Women's Visioning Workshop. This is Thursday, February 9th. At 6:30 p.m., and it will be a vision workshop for women hosted by, naturally, the Unity in Lynnwood Women's Group. Plan to bring an open heart, I think you got that covered, and be prepared for meditation and crafting. In addition, a light supper, oh cool, will be provided, and a love offering will be greatly appreciated and accepted. Prayer. As always, at every service, we have loving and brilliant prayer chaplains who are here to help support you regardless of where you're at today. If you have never availed yourself of a prayer chaplain, or it's been a while, I encourage you to seek them out. I absolutely promise you that you will feel better after connecting with a prayer chaplain. If you're in our physical sanctuary, come up after service around this area, and the prayer chaplains will be available, and they'll be happy to greet you. If you're online, send an email to prayer@unityinlynnwood.org and include your phone number so we can call you, and expect a call from an anonymous number in the next hour or two. Would the prayer chaplains in service today please stand so we can know who you are? They are an awesome group, Barbara. Gotta love the prayer chaplains. So, our mission statement: practical spirituality, welcoming community. Sounds really simple, doesn't it? I think if we could just do those two things and do them well, what else is there, really? And we do them well. And every week, we like to support this mission statement with one of the 6 guiding principles that were developed back in 2014. And today, it's number 1, and it reads as follows. We offer a metaphysical teaching which encourages regular spiritual practice, including prayer, meditation, affirmation, denial, service, and study. So in case you thought you could just show up on Sundays and call it good, no, there's actually a few other things involved. So we encourage you in all of these activities. It does take some practice and commitment, but there's nobody I'd rather do it with than you all. Words of invocation. Feel free to engage with these however you see fit. Say them softly, say them loud and proud, just let them wash over you, and however that works for you. Though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. It never gets old. Just let that wash over you for a second. It's beautiful. So, prayer versus meditation. Anyone ever have any questions about that? Anybody? Hands? Nobody? Okay, the rest of you can all go home then. Never mind. I'll go too. Well, truly, years ago, in my wide-eyed innocence or ignorance, one or the other, at my first prayer class, I asked that question. What's the difference between prayer and meditation anyway? I have a knack for shutting up the room with my questions, let me tell you. But as I recall, the question was put before the group, and there was a lot of wonderful answers. Here's some of what I heard that day, and some responses that I collected in my ad hoc and really not very scientific research. See if any sound familiar to you. Number 1, prayer is when you talk to God. Meditation is when God talks to you. Okay? Number 2, meditation is when I get quiet. Prayer is when I try to connect to God. Okay? Number 3, prayer is where spirit meets language. And number 4, they're interchangeable to me. Number 5, some Christian writers say something like this. The key difference between prayer and meditation is prayer is making your requests known to God and opening up to Him like you would a best friend, whereas meditation is taking the time to listen to what God has to say to you through reading and digging deeper into the Bible. Okay, that sounds about right. Finally, number 6, others argue that prayer is religious while meditation is secular. Basically, religious people use prayer to establish a deeper connection with God. Meditation, on the other hand, does not involve a connection with a higher power. Rather, the goal is for you to form a connection with yourself. Of course, here in Unity, we tend to think that there's quite a relationship between yourself and God, but that's another sermon for another day. First, though, let's deal with the Santa Daddy God. You know, the one that we usually begin talking to by saying, "Dear God," and fill in the blank with something like, "Please don't let it be cancer. Help me find a new job." Or for the very altruistic among you, and you know who you are, because I know you, all I ask for is world peace. You know that kind of prayer, the beseeching, the begging, the bargaining approach that overcomes us during difficult times. Yeah? Anybody? Let me stress. This is absolutely not affirmative prayer as we come to understand it in Unity. First, let's dispense with the notion that this kind of prayer is really prayer at all. First and foremost, this kind of prayer, by its very format, implies a God outside of us, out there, pulling the puppet strings of our dance through life. And this is not how it works. Hard as it can be to swallow, we need to come to the realization that we are the ones controlling our present and future with our thoughts. And yes, our thoughts are prayer. Think about it. This capricious out there God cannot be defended. For those engaging in traditional prayer, if they have prayed for safety, they will often credit God with saving them. Does that mean that God didn't love the others who weren't spared? Weren't they worth saving? I'll refer you to Ellen Davenport, who is the author of the 5 Unity Principles, who says, "This caricature of God that turns questioners into atheists is a God that doesn't make sense. This God lets bad things happen to good people and does nothing." We've got it all wrong. God is not the one pulling the strings, not making things happen or not happen, keeping us safe or not. We are the ones deciding what shows up in our lives. When we begin to see ourselves as co-creators of everything, we start to take it all much more seriously. We see that our thoughts are what manifest reality and how important it is to recognize that thinking determines the outcomes. Okay, you might say, how does this relate to meditation anyway? Where are we going with this? I would argue that meditation is a tool that we can use to make our prayer more genuine, more real, more in line with what we want and how we want to be in this world. But before we go any further, let's talk about what we mean by meditation. There are many, 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 many kinds of meditation. You may have heard of transcendental meditation. That is a form of mantra meditation. And back in the day, you could shell out some coin to get your own personal mantra, as I recall. Other popular meditation types include Zen meditation, which involves sitting in a particular posture and following the breath and letting the mind just be. Okay? Vipassana meditation encourages you to use your concentration to intensely examine certain aspects of your existence with the intention of eventual transformation. Okay, not to complicate things, but our beloved Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, defines meditation as, and I quote, "continuous and contemplative thought, to dwell mentally on anything, realizing the reality of the absolute, a steady effort of the mind to know God, man's spiritual approach to God." Then he defines prayer as the communion between God and man, which takes place in the innermost part of man's being. Okay, I'll be honest, the density of his language challenges me just a little bit and gives me little traction into the actual practice or the why here. Also, in the last century, and we'll hear more about this in a second, neuroscience has come a long way. So hang with me for just a minute while I find us some practical spirituality. For the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to define meditation as mindfulness meditation. This, according to Jon Kabat-Zinn, who is the founder of the mindfulness-based stress reduction program, which is a really popular meditation program, been around for years, his definition of mindfulness meditation is paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. Let's parse this out for a minute. First step, paying attention. If you're going to pay attention, you need to decide what you're going to pay attention to. Really, it could be anything, but likely candidates are your breath, or a mantra, or music. The particular way is the focus on that thing, whatever that is. On purpose means you set an intention to do just that, and that you don't go get a snack after 2 minutes if you've decided you're going to meditate for 10. In the present moment is critical. Why? The present moment is all there is. And when you hit that present moment where you get distracted and you recognize it, bingo, you refocus back on the breath or whatever you're using and move on to the next moment. Non-judgmentally is super important because, like many of us, when we realize we've been distracted, we tell ourselves things like, I'm no good at this. Okay, how does this work? I can't count the number of times people have said to me, because I have taught meditation, I can't meditate. It's impossible for me to shut down my brain. All I hear is the chatter of my monkey mind reminding me of what I need to do, what I should have said, or all manner of distraction. And these are the people who give up. I'm here to tell you that clearing your mind of everything is not and cannot be the goal of meditation. We are hardwired to think. I'm going to turn this observation on its head, because that's what I like to do, and tell you, being distracted is the whole point of meditation. Some could argue that we are biologically created to be distracted by almost anything in order to stay alive. Our ancestors needed a nervous system that evolved to be ever vigilant and ready to inform us of the slightest danger. It's as if we have our own internal Siri or Alexa just listening in to alert us to any possible threat. And this is a good thing when you're running around the plains or the savannah with your extended family scavenging for food in a hostile environment full of things that might want to eat you. But in today's modern world, typically the biggest existential threat we face from our environment is a road rager flipping us off, or maybe a lost field mouse in the kitchen. It's the same hard wiring to pay attention to distraction that sets in when we sit down to meditate. You know the drill. You make yourself comfortable. You find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. You put on some soothing music, or even a guided meditation, or you choose your object of focus, and you're there. But whether it's 2 minutes or 2 seconds in, you lose focus and become distracted by an itch, or remembering that you got to buy oat milk, or that you forgot to buy your mother-in-law a birthday present, and then you tell yourself, I suck at this. Yeah. Anyone? Yeah. But it is exactly at this point where you have the opportunity for growth. As soon as you recognize that you've been distracted, simply acknowledge the distraction and go right back to focusing on your mantra or your breath or your music, whatever. Why? Because it is the recognition of this distraction and the return to your breath or whatever that builds new neural pathways. What is a neural pathway, you ask? Think of your brain as a map full of interstate freeways, smaller highways, 2-lane main streets, backwater dirt roads, and barely there footpaths. The freeways are high speed, well-marked, and most entrenched. And the ones that have been growing and in use for years. But the back roads and the nascent trails are the ones that need to be developed, especially the ones that let you be aware of your internal sensations and feelings. So it goes something like this. You sit down to meditate. This is from a book called Search Inside Yourself, which I heartily recommend if you haven't read it. You sit down to meditate. Some number of minutes or seconds, you are distracted. You notice the distraction, and you return to your breath. This action is deepening that back road and making it more usable and available. Each time you are distracted and you bring yourself back, you are creating a stronger likelihood of taking that path. It becomes easier to return. Forging these new pathways is called neuroplasticity. Where's Jennifer? She talked about that a little while ago. It's your brain growing stronger and more capable of handling the world and getting you closer to your truth. Think of it like working out at the gym. Some of you remember that, right? If you haven't been for a while and you do a whole bunch of lunges and squats, you will feel it the next day. You'll be sore for sure. But if you are consistent with your workouts, over time, you can do that same exercise with less effort and a heck of a lot less pain afterwards. And the magic of the practice keeps on giving. Yes, you become better at recognizing the distraction and bringing yourself back. But even more importantly, as you continue to do this, you lose your place and you become better at identifying thoughts and feelings as they occur, even in your regular non-meditative life. Very important. It carries over into the real world. The ability to identify and name what you are feeling is a process called affective labeling, and it leads naturally to the evolution of your self-awareness. Think about it. If you can realize that you are feeling a knot in your stomach and identify that as anxiety because you were about to have a difficult conversation with your boss, you bring that feeling out into the open, to the light of day where you can fully feel it. And then, this is key, make a decision about what you want to do with it. Having the consciousness to decide in these situations brings on the self-confidence to know and do the right thing, even under very difficult circumstances. Having the consciousness to decide in these situations increases our emotional intelligence, which is defined by its founders, Peter Salovey and John D. Mayer, as the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate among them, and to use this information to guide one's thinking. And in so doing, you help optimize yourself and function at an even higher level than what you are already capable of. And that's from the author of Search Inside Yourself, Jade Mangtan. Okay, you say, how does this relate to prayer? Again, according to Mang, and I quote, a strong, stable, and perceptive attention that affords you calmness and clarity is the foundation upon which emotional intelligence is built. And I would argue also the ability to have a rich and deep foundation for prayer. Davenport explains it this way. Prayer is creative thinking that highlights and heightens the connection with God-mind, and therefore brings forth wisdom, healing, prosperity, and everything good. But she goes on to ask, if we are already creating whatever shows up, then what is prayer? For that matter, why pray at all? She cites Mark's gospel. So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe you have received it, and it will be yours. That's Mark 11:24. Prayer is how we relate ourselves to God. My inclination is to say it's how we connect with God, but that again implies that there's a God outside, and two things are coming together, which is really not quite what we're saying. It's probably more appropriate to say that prayer is how we remind ourselves that we are God. It's an act of recognizing in the now moment that our existence is not the ego self that wanders this planet in search of experience. Prayer is that little voice that nudges us to be quiet and experience what it means to be one with God. And I'm not talking about that daddy God here. No. It's worth acknowledging, though, that almost every human being raised in a Western culture has this God notion so deeply entrenched, even if you didn't grow up in a religious environment. It's just the language that gets used. And it takes a lot of practice to excavate this deeply rooted notion from our subconscious. I was a prayer chaplain for 4 years, and I had to practice it every single day. That's how entrenched it is. As Davenport says, many people, even those who understand the law of attraction and know that their thoughts manifest in their lives, cling to the idea of God as a daddy who will take care of them. Sorry. They believe they can petition God for favors, behave well enough to deserve blessings, and be protected from the hardships of life. This belief often rationalizes life's apparent vagaries as a test of faith sent by God to build our character. God won't give you any more than you can handle, they assure each other. Yeah. She goes on, in affirmative prayer, we are remembering who we truly are as expressions of the eternal life force on earth. And we are taking time to align our thoughts and feelings with our highest good. We affirm our well-being, that our needs are filled and that there is not lack in the universe, because the universe senses our vibration. Prayer is more than the words we utter between dear God and amen. Every thought, every feeling is a prayer. You can see then how the practice of mindfulness meditation gives us the toolkit to become adept at affirmative prayer. When we are able to exercise these muscles of self-awareness, we develop a beautiful foundation on which we can practice affirmative prayer. It means recognizing, according to Davenport, that affirmative prayer simply means to remember that whatever we ask for in prayer is ours already. We affirm its availability. Remember the creative power of words. Never put anything into words that you don't want. As we engage in this kind of prayer, we realize that praying from the level of co-creator and tapping into our own divinity to create outcomes can be mind-boggling. Let's practice for a few minutes, shall we? Make yourselves as comfortable as you can. If you're okay, close your eyes or just let your eyes focus on something in front of you. Let them soften. Take a few breaths at your own pace. Simply pay attention to the breath. Pay attention as it enters your body. Notice when you reach the end of the in-breath and observe how it feels as it leaves your body. The only thing you need to do is pay attention to each and every moment of your breath. If you get distracted by a physical sensation or a sound or a thought, simply notice, I was distracted. Remain neutral and try to simply observe, not judge. You might simply say to yourself, distraction. Next breath, please. Pay attention to all the physical sensations of the breath and experience the nowness of those observations. If it helps to stay focused, you can count your in and your out breaths to a count of 4. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. As these breaths become more relaxed, you might try the following. On the in-breath, say to yourself, God is. And the out-breath, I am. In-breath, God is. Out-breath, I am. Again, meet any distraction with non-judgment, letting sensations or thoughts go by as a cloud floating in the sky. Notice what you're feeling. It might be nothing. It might be a sense of union. It might be anger that this meditation is still going on already. Whatever you are feeling is absolutely just fine. A few more breaths. God is. I am. God is. I am. And so it is. And so it is.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That was wonderful. No matter how much or how little money you have flowing through your life, when you direct that flow with soulful purpose, you feel wealthy. You feel vibrant in life when you use your money in a way that represents you as an expression of who you are. When you let your money move to things you care about, your life lights up. That's really what money is for, by Lynn Twist. We offer opportunities to practice giving and receiving that we might cooperate with the reciprocal nature of the spiritual universe. In other words, while your giving matters to us, we suggest your giving matter to you as well. Electronic giving options will appear on your screen. For those choosing to give a physical gift, you will see a basket coming around to you. If you would like information about UIL's programs of regular giving, planned giving, or legacy giving, please grab a Giver's Circle brochure or write Dr. Richard directly. For those already participating, we extend a special thanks. Please join me in our affirmation as it appears on screen. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Thank you. That's beautiful. Well, do we have any newcomers today visiting for the first time? If you do, raise your hand. Well, thank you so much for coming. We're so glad that you're here today. You are welcome to come to the Welcome and Information Center, which is in the back of the sanctuary, and there will be information for you to take home. Our ambassador today is Michelle. If you'd like, you can go to the gift store and pick up a copy of the Daily Word, which is a small pamphlet with affirmation and encouraging words. So just go to the Soul Things Books and Gift Store and pick up a copy. There are informational cards in the chair backs in front of you with many resources. And after the service, please come to the Friendship Hall and meet new people or talk to your old friends. It's always fun. Announcements. Please register for all events by visiting the calendar page at www.unityinlynnwood.org. Please avail yourself to the offerings of UIL's small group ministry. Details will appear on the screen. We continue to deliver canned goods to UIL between now and February 12th to support the Lynnwood Food Bank and in a friendly competition with Unity of San Antonio. Yes, Reverend Nina Clark, we're coming for you. We've got some cans, so keep bringing them. We have another, we have another study group. It's called Diving Deeper Study Group. 4 seasoned licensed Unity teachers invite you to dive deeper. Join us once a month on the 3rd Wednesdays, starting this Wednesday at 7 p.m. virtually. Discussions will be based on Dr. Richard Lauren Held's living explorations and acumen of the Unity truth teachings and the wisdom teachings of the ages. And we have another fabulous prayer class that's coming, and that's starting on January 31st through March 7th at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. Unity was founded in a particular kind of prayer, affirmative prayer, a prayer that claims your divine nature, the truth of your being, and opens you to greater good. We invite you to bring this powerful prayer practice into your life, or to just have a prayer tune-up. This class is required to become a prayer chaplain and may be taken for credit through Unity Worldwide Ministries. This is going to be fabulous. Chocolate Cabaret on Valentine's Day, Tuesday, February 14th at 7 p.m. Can't be missed. Join us in an evening of love songs as interpreted by the incomparable Matthew Wilson and Rise Macon. Right, yeah, it's gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait. There will be fine wines and chocolate delicacies of every variety will be available for your enjoyment as well. We celebrate love, of course. And our next item is we are having an annual financial meeting Sunday, January 29th at 12:30 p.m. UIL's Board of Trustees invites you to attend. All are welcome to join in this presentation of UIL's 2022 fiscal performance, current position, and 2023 budget. And finally, if you would like a year-end donor letter, please write or ring the office. Your statement will come in the mail by the end of January. Thank you so much, and have a great Sunday and a wonderful week.
Thank you, Frances. Wow, do you think we have enough stuff going on here? Oh my God, it's hard to keep it all straight. What a community. I really want to make a special shout out today to the crew and everyone who pulled this off. Dr. Richard, I know you're out there. We love you and we miss you. And Frances and Amanda, what a team, the Goddess Girls, the band. So grateful. Thank you for your patience putting up with me. I know it's always kind of a challenge. Oh, who's that new lady? Oh my God, but really appreciate it. As we close our time together, I want to thank you all for your grace and your generosity of spirit. I know that we do miss Dr. Richard and Matthew so much, and we're sending you love and sunshine and joy on their beautiful vacation. Safe travels, and we can't wait to see you again. So let's end today with the same discipline that we began with. I'll call it prayer, or you can call it whatever you like, because that's the way we roll here at Unity in Lynnwood. Perhaps we close our eyes again so we can focus inward. I invite you to do that. As you go out into your week, ask yourself, what can I take from our time together today? What's one thing I can do this week to practice? Maybe I simply set a timer on my phone and notice what I'm feeling several times a day. Maybe I set that timer and take a mini meditation, just 5 focused breaths. Tell yourself, I will make that commitment. Set a tiny intention, just a little one. And in between, know you are perfect. You are loved. God is, I am. God is, I am. And now we will end, as we always do, with sung words of blessing and sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine